from the Netherlands and the UK, 12 days to put together, using a 250-ton crane from local crane company John Such Cranes. The wheel is 60 meters high and weighs 345 tons. It's one of the world's largest transportable vehicles.
There is street signs on either side, but if you look to the one on the left, just above it, on the wall, you'll see the remnants of some white paint. That's because the street signs were painted on the wall from the late 60s because the council got sick and tired of replacing them after Beatles fans from all over the world kept this church hall, and where the Quarrymen performed in many a skiffle competition, actually won quite a few. And also during the 1960s, Freddie Mercury of Queen used to live above there while studying at Liverpool Art College. This road on the right, Dovale Road, we can't actually drive down there, but at the far end is Dovale Primary School, a primary school attended by both John Lennon and George Harrison. So they cheated, extended Penny Lane by about 50 yards. Directly ahead of us, what is now Sergeant Pepper's Bistro in the middle of the roundabout was formerly a bus and tram waiting shelter where pretty nurses sell poppies from a tray. Over to the right hand side on the corner is a bank, where the banker never wears a mac in the pouring rain. It's very strange. We're going to go around the roundabout first. When we come out, we're going to continue straight up this road, just where the bus is at the moment. On the left there, you will see a white fronted shop called Tony Slavin Ladies and Gents Hairstylists, formerly Violetti's, the barbershop. The reason the lads wrote about this area, basically this is where they had to meet to get the bus into the city centre. When John was at the art college and Paul and George at the institute, they would have to meet here to get the bus. There's a couple of places relevant just behind these buildings on the left, round to the birthplace of George Harrison. I will tell you all about the house. We are back on the bus.
So I say, you want to just get the photos, get back round to the bus. I'll talk about as we're going. Believe me, the neighbours have heard it all before. Once, twice. You get excited?
It's the former home of the Epstein family, and that's where Brian and John would have sat in the morning room discussing the future of the Beatles. It's also where they had a cocktail party in the morning of Paul McCartney's 21st birthday, before going off to Auntie Gin's house in Huyton, where John Lennon then decides to beat up the Cavern DJ, Bob Wooler, for saying that he was gay. John hit him with a garden spade. Back slightly with the red roof, I'll point it out as we get up there. It was actually the back of the church on the 6th of July 1957 that the Quarrymen were playing at a garden party. Now in the crowd watching that day was a young lad called Ivan Vaughan. He brought his mate with him from Speak, a lad called Paul McCartney. When the band had finished an afternoon show and was setting up in the church hall, set back there on the right, for the evening performance, Ivan decided to take Paul in to meet the band. First thing Paul McCartney said to John Lennon was, "I noticed when you were playing the guitar, you'd only use 4 strings. John says, "Yeah, it's because Mum's been teaching me on a banjo. I didn't know how to use 4 strings. Paul then said, "I noticed you also changed the words to some of the songs." John says, "Yeah, if I don't know them, I make them up. It's more fun." Paul said, "I played the guitar as well." John said, "Go on then, show me." Being a bit cocky with him because Paul was younger. First thing Paul did was pick up John's guitar and tune it. That impressed John because John couldn't tune a guitar. In 1934, it was sold off to the Salvation Army, who opened a home for 40 girls. Over the years, it's been a Salvation Army children's home, an orphanage, special needs school, and John Lennon used to play in the grounds around Strawberry Field. Does that mean we'd always shout at him for being in there because it was private property? John's answer was always, "It's alright, they can't hang me for it. Nothing to get hung about. Strawberry Field forever." From 1945 to 1963, it's on your left-hand side now. The reason this house has got the blue plaque on the wall and George's house hasn't is because the English Heritage, who give the plaques out, will only give a plaque to somebody who's been dead for 20 years. The logic behind it is if you still remember after 20 years, you must have been famous. John's bedroom, little one above the front door. Although the band came round to rehearse, they weren't allowed in the house, the guitars. They're only allowed inside the porch. And that's because Mimi always said to John, the guitar's all very well and good, John, but you'll never make a living out of it. In 1965, John came back to visit Mimi. Now, after fighting his way through the crowd of people who gathered outside, he found Mimi sitting in the kitchen crying. When he asked her what the problem was, she said, I can't put up with these crowds anymore. I want my peace and tranquility back. John said, don't worry, I'll take you on holiday. And he took her to a place called Poole in Dorset. Now, as they got to the cottage where they were staying, John showed Mimi inside, told her to have a look around while he brought luggage in. As she walked in the house, she found it was decorated beautifully, all the best furniture you get at the time. Above the fireplace, there was a big plaque on the wall. The plaque said, the guitar's all very well and good, John, but you'll never make a living out of it. When she said, what's that all about? He said, I've bought you this house. She then shouted at him, what gives you the right to buy me a house? I was asking. He said, look, you looked after me for 18 years, it's my turn to look after you. It only cost me £20,000. There's plenty more where that comes from. She accepted the house and lived there right up until 1991, till she died. This house here opened for the first time ever to a film crew, just on 10 years ago. NBC from America, making a new film called In His Life, the John Lennon story. Anyone actually seen the film? No? When they were filming in John's bedroom, we got invited down to have a look round because John's bedroom had never been used since he'd left.
Oh, yeah. I saw it in the paper, I didn't see it on the telly. I say, guys, Mikey's younger brother had a big bedroom in the back of the house, got all the photography equipment in the bedroom. But the downstairs front room is where the Quarrymen and the Beatles used to meet and rehearse. Over 100 songs written in this house, including
Strawberry field forever. Always know, sometimes think it's me. But you know I know that it's a dream. I think I know. Sing my song of love. Floating sky is shimmering,
every night.
glimmering.
Downloads the new sound.
You know, if you break my heart, I'll go, but I'll be back again. 'Cause I told you once before goodbye.